Okay, so what's going on, people, and welcome back to my FUT 17 player ratings prediction series. I couldn't think of what the bloody series was called then. Sorry about that, guys. My mind just went a little bit blank. I've just been I'm on a roll of recording, basically, so yeah, do bear with me. Getting started into jumping straight in, guys. We have already done Arsenal, Aston Villa, and now we are doing AFC Bournemouth. So I've gone through most of the squad that I can adapt on. And bear in mind that I get all of my stats from a website, so if you want to know what the website is, just check. Don't check, just ask me and I can share it with you. But yeah, I get all of my, I use a variety, to be honest, and I just get all of the stats off online, and then I kind of, only for the players that I haven't really noticed this season that much, with it being the Premier League, obviously, it's easy. This is going to be the easiest league for me to do because I watch it on a weekly basis, but obviously there are some players and some teams that I watch more than others, so for those who I can't have like a good opinion of, I've either backed up, had a look online for stats and stuff, or I've not included them. So if a player is missing, that is why. Anyway, getting started, we'll start us off with the goalkeeper here, Artur Boruc. Might I just add, I know this probably isn't the formation that Bournemouth play in. Well, it isn't, is it? But I'm just sticking with this. Just treat it as like, I don't know, more of like a squad thing than, you know. You guys got what I'm saying. Don't pay attention to the formation, just the players. So, starting us off, I've got Artur Boruc. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Player that's been about a fair bit. I think he used to play for, I'm pretty sure it was Southampton, and he made a mistake where, against Arsenal, and Giroud scored. It was quite funny, actually. Obviously not for him or Southampton, but funny for Arsenal, and of course for Olivier Giroud. Yeah, he is 76 rated, I do believe. Obviously, I'm just going to add as well that I only use the actual natural ratings. I know some players, like upgrades, are included, but not informs or special cards, only upgrades are included. So the most up-to-date overall for Boruc is 76. I think it's going to stay the same. He is a good keeper, despite his error against Arsenal, but that was, time ago. He's 36 years old, so he's quite a good age for a keeper, where he's probably more level-headed now and not like rash and making, he's quite experienced, and he's played 32 games in the Premier League this season. Bear in mind that the stats that I go off will more than likely be Premier League stats, Premier League only, like not other competitions like the cups and stuff. So yeah, I think he's going to probably stay the same. I can't see him increasing too much, but I don't think he'll decrease either. And I think with Bournemouth on a whole, that's what you'll find with most of this squad. Because I think it'll be hard. They've done really well, to be honest, to stop up this season. So yeah, they've done a great job there. Next up is the right back, Simon Francis. I think that's how you pronounce his name anyway. So, oh, sorry, I just moved the microphone away. He is on a 71 overall, and again, I've said that I think he's going to stay the same, relatively safe. Played most of Bournemouth's games this season, 37 in fact, and has managed to get himself 4 assists. Also racked up the cards, though, unfortunately, with 5 yellow cards and 1 red card. And yeah, he's 31 as well, this guy is. So he's probably, I don't know, approaching his last few seasons, but yeah, I can't see him decreasing too much. I mean, the cards are I guess when you're a defender, you are going to rack up some cards, but yeah, I don't think that's too bad. And he has managed, he shows that he's alright going forward. If he's got himself 4 assists this season, for a defender, that's pretty good. Moving on to one of actually my favourite non-Arsenal players, believe it or not, yeah, Sylvain Distin, I think that's how you pronounce his name. This legend right here is 38 years old. What a player he is as well. Sadly, obviously coming towards the end of his career now at 38. He's been about as well. He's played for some pretty decent clubs, and I think, to be fair, deserved to have had much of a chance. I think he's been very, very underrated, if I'm honest. Yeah, he's only managed 12 games this season. He might actually decrease in overall. He's currently 77. I've put down on here that I think he's going to stay 77, but I I just don't know. He hasn't got any bookings this season, and you know, despite his age, I think he's still like quite a good centre back. But obviously, it depends if he's going to retire or not. He's probably going to be thinking about retiring soon at being 38. But yeah, I can't see him going down too much, maybe down to a 76, but I don't think he'll go up either. I think staying 77 is probably standard. Get a load of this guy right. I was really surprised when I looked at this guy's stats. So I'm thinking Steve Cook, and I'm like, haven't really heard much of him this season, don't really know an awful lot about him, did a little bit of research on him. His current overall is 74. Get a load of this. I think this guy could go up to a 76, and here's why. He's played 35 games this season, so he's proven to be quite a favourite in the Bournemouth defence. He's scored 4 goals, and get this, right, I don't know if this is just me, but I think this sounds pretty good for a defender. This season, he's had 23 shots. Like, he is a defender that doesn't mess about. He's a defender that likes his name on that score sheet, isn't he? But yeah, scoring 4 goals for a centre-back, I think that's pretty good. I really do. He has racked up 5 yellow cards, but again, I mentioned this with Francis. You know, it's being a defender, it's very difficult not to get booked, because sometimes you've got to make them challenges and you know, take one for the team sort of thing in quite a few situations. And obviously when you're playing for like Bournemouth, who in my opinion have had a great season for a team that have just come up and clear underdogs as well, I think they've done really, really well. The left back next is Charlie Daniels. I might occasionally flick onto the profile like that, I don't know why. This guy, 71 at the moment, I think he's going to go up to a 72. He's played 37 games this season and scored 3 goals. He does have 2 yellow cards to his name, but as I've said before, for a defender, you know, 2 yellow cards in 37 games is not bad. And yeah, he's contributed to some of Bournemouth's goals as well this season, so it's pretty good. And obviously with him, I just kind of take the knowledge that the fact that he's played 37 games clearly shows that he's had, you know, a pretty decent season, because otherwise Bournemouth wouldn't play him so much. Moving on to the attackers, well, some of the attackers now. We have got other defenders to go through, but I'll save those for later. We've got Matthew Ritchie. I watched him a little bit this season and I quite like this guy. He's 27, and can't say that I actually heard of him before. Obviously he come up with Bournemouth and stuff, but yeah, I think he's going to remain a 74 overall. He's played 36 games this season, so again, played a lot of Bournemouth season, and has scored 4 goals and got himself 6 assists, but it's not too bad. He's possibly could be doing better, but you know, it's Bournemouth and it's their first season in the Premier League, so I don't think you can hold too many complaints at that, if I'm honest. So yeah, I for one am quite impressed with that, and I can't see him decreasing at all on his overall. Next up, we have got Harry Arter. Quite a dirty little player, this one. I'm not just saying that because of how he played against Arsenal. No, okay, maybe I am. No, from what I've seen of him, he's quite a hard little player. 74 overall. Again, he seems quite key to the Bournemouth side, so I think he's probably going to stay with a 74 overall. He's played 21 games, so not as many as some of the others, but still quite a the majority of the games. He's got himself 1 goal, but yeah, like I said, he's racked up 7 yellow cards, so is he a little bit of a liability? Who knows? Maybe. You Bournemouth fans tell me if there are any watching this at all. Next, we've got Andrew Sermon. Look at him. Sorry, just fangirling there. 72 rated, and I've said on him, I think he's going to stay the same as well. Like I've said, you will find this with most of the Bournemouth players that I have. It's not me being lazy, it's me just being honest. You know, I just don't think that. I think these guys, they might have some. The ones that I've said that'll stay the same, that's me saying that I definitely don't think that they're going to go down anymore, and that their rating is at least what they're going to be in FIFA 17. So yeah, on continuing with the Sermon, expanding off him, he's played 37 games. He hasn't got any goals, but he's got 3 assists and 4 yellow cards, so he could probably be contributing a little bit more, and that's why I didn't really go for, you know, giving him a boost on his overall. On the left wing, we've got Max Gradel. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I'm going to say it anyway. You know who I'm on about, this guy right here. He's played 13 games this season, scored 1 goal, got 2 assists and a yellow card. Again, for a winger, he probably should be doing a little bit better, but he's only played 13 games, so that's kind of, in his defence there, probably not done too bad. And for that reason, I think he could remain 79, but because, like I say, of the lack of activity, I'm going to say, the lack of goals, the lack of 2 assists, okay, it's not really great, is it really? So I've gone for a 77 rating, at the least, for him, I think. Moving on to the strikers, we have got my friend Benica Phoebe, not really my friend, but the ex-Arsenal man, come up through the academy. Tell you what, it's so nice to see him do well. When I heard the news that he was linked with Bournemouth and it was pretty much done, I was so happy for him, as I think a lot of Arsenal fans were as well. And it's so nice to see somebody who's come up through the academy with so much respect for the club do so well. Obviously he's quite good friends with Jack Wilshere, because they played a lot together in the academy and stuff, and it's like I say, it's just really good to see him do well. And he comes to the Premier League in January, if I remember correctly. He's 73 rated, and maybe this is a little bit biased, but I think he could go up to about a 75. And this probably is a bit biased, really, but I'm saying it because he played 14 games and scored 4 goals, and he hasn't got any assists yet. But I just have big. What have I just done there? Sorry about that, guys. I just have high hopes for Benica Phoebe. I need to get off this right now. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. And next up, a player that I've really felt sorry for this season, young Callum Wilson. I think he could, honestly, I think if he hadn't have had the horrific injury that he had, I think he did a cruciate ligament, which is a really bad blow, and was a huge blow for Bournemouth, because I know that at the start of the season, he played 12 games and scored 5 goals, which really isn't bad going at all. But yeah, like I say, we missed the rest of the season after them 12 games with injury, really bad injury. But he looks a really promising young player. I reckon this guy could go up to about a 77 rating. I don't think he will do. I think he'll probably get an upgrade as long as he stays fit. But this is the thing now, injuries like that can ruin a player's career, and you'll find that a lot of players, some players just come back from it and are never injured again, severely, but other players, it really affects their career, and they just kind of drift in and out of injury. As strange as that sounds, it does happen. But I do have I think if he can stay fit, he has a lot of potential and can go really far. I know that a lot of top clubs, including Arsenal, were looking at this guy and really wanted him and showed a keen interest in him. And next up, we're going on to the subs now. Like I say, the Bournemouth lineup might be different to this. I might have nailed it, but I tried my best. Oops. And I've just gone for the players that I can spectate on. So this guy, I know quite well. I wouldn't say a fan, but I used to like Brighton and Hove Albion, the team, mainly to do with betting, gambling. I used to bet on them, and they used to do really well in the Championship, and I've always felt sorry for them, because they've been that team that are always up there. If any Brighton fans are watching this, you're going to love me. But yeah, they've always been up there, and they've always been so close to promotion, but just not quite get it. And I felt so sorry for them. I would love to see them in the Premier League, and I'm hoping that they can win the playoffs this time round and get in the Premier League. I'd love to see them in there. I just admire them. I don't support them, I don't necessarily follow them, but they're a team that I just enjoy watching, and if they play and they're on telly, it's rare the Championship is on telly, but if they do play and they're on telly, I will watch them. And I do really enjoy watching them play. I remember Elphick. The reason I was on about Brighton is I remember Elphick from his Brighton days. And I do really like him, to be honest. He's only played 11 games this season and has managed to score 1 goal. So for that reason, he's 70 rated. Could go up to 71. Don't think he'll drop. He hasn't really, done anything bad enough to drop. But possibly not done enough either, really, to grow. But I don't know. I just think that he can't. I can't see him losing that 70, at least anyway. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he was captain as well at Brighton at some point. And next up, we've got young Joshua King. This guy has played 30 games this season and scored 6 goals and got himself 2 assists. He's 69 rated, not 79. That'd be good for him, wouldn't it? He's 69 rated. I think he's going to go up to about 70. I think he's quite underrated in this actually. And there's another player as well that I think is really underrated in this game. Moving on, we've got Lewis Graban. Not really done too well at all. He's played 20 games and only scored 1 goal with 19 shots in total this season in those 20 games. It's not really great, is it? I think, I can't quite remember how old, 1988, I can't work out the maths. But yeah, he's 69 rated. I can't see him improving. I think he might possibly lose on his overall. That might be being too harsh, but I can't see too much from him. Now, this player right here, that 66 rating is completely unfair. I think he is much better than 66 rating. Junior Stanislas, that is. I think he definitely deserves a much better overall. I think he possibly should be up there with the fact that Graban is rated more than him. Kind of makes me question EA, and it's just things like this where I'm like, EA, what are you playing at? I think 70 at most, definitely, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did get set, over 70. He's played 21 games, scored 3 goals and 2 assists, and has racked up just the 1 yellow card. But yeah, I don't know. I really like. There's something about him that I just really like. I think he's a good winger. He's definitely better than Walcott. Shots fired. Anyway, moving on. Before I get into trouble, Mark Pugh. Wait, no. I'm moving on to, Glenn Murray. Sorry about that, guys. My head is in the shed. 72 rated. Think he's going to stay the same. He's standard season. Well, pretty much. Well, actually, I say standard, and I've let him keep that. 21 games and 3 goals scored. I think him to keep hold of a 72 rating is, that's quite unlikely. I think if anything, he deserves the 66 rating and Stanislas deserves the 72. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a fan of Stanislas. So, moving on to the player that I accidentally pushed in front of Murray there, Mark Pugh. Again, a player who he's played a lot this season, but I don't know, he hasn't really contributed too much. He has played 25 games, he's scored 3 goals and got 2 assists. 71 rated, I think he's either going to stay the same or go down to 70, just because of, 25 games and just 3 goals and just the 2 assists. Isn't really, brilliant really, is it? Next we've got Adam Smith. Again, this guy has played 31 games, he's got 2 goals and has racked up 5 yellow cards, which for a defender, I keep excusing them because they're defenders, but yeah, it's not, I don't know, it's not too bad, I guess. In 31 games, 5 yellow cards when you're a defender probably isn't too bad. He's obviously just come on and and just had to do a job, and like I say, sometimes you do just have to take one for the team. I have seen him play quite a lot as well, actually, and I think he's alright. I think he's probably going to stay the same 70 rating. Can't see him going down or improving. So yeah, I think 70 rating probably fits him quite nicely. And the last one I've got is Dan Gosling. Again, 33 games played, 3 goals scored, 1 assist and 6 yellow cards. He's 71 rated. Again, I think he's either going to be 71 still or go down to a 70. Can't see him improving. Don't think he'll decrease drastically, but I can't see him really keeping a 71. Maybe it's just about fair. But that's the end of my Bournemouth predictions, guys. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments down below, or if you do agree, also let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, subscribe if you want more. Obviously, click the like button if you enjoyed as well. I'm going to go learn how to speak again. Apologies about the video, guys. Honestly, I'm running on 0 energy right now. But yeah, I will catch you all later.